Shemai everyone, how are you all? There's been a little bit of a gap in my videos lately. I think with everything going on in the world at the moment, I'm finding it a bit hard to motivate myself to do some scrapping. But I have actually caught up with my project life again. Really weird sort of time to scrapbook about, but I was determined to get it into my album. So here's a little flick through. For this week, I've made lots of the filler cards myself out of, I've been doing quite a bit of other scrapping because I've been doing an album for a few different people, and I had lots of leftover papers, and I thought instead of just adding them to my scraps box where it might take some time before they see the light of day again, I thought I'd just cut them to the right size, and I made some ready-made cards which I popped in my Project Life resource pack, and here they are, all being used up. So this week is running from the 24th of February to the 1st of March, so this is week 9, and it talks about how once again the weather at this point was causing disruption because I made these lovely, and they were, I must be honest, they were quite delicious. I wish I had some to share with you. Some lemon cupcakes for my craft club. But on the Friday night, the Friday afternoon actually, we had dreadful floods again, and I didn't want anyone to put themselves out trying to get to club that night. So we made the decision to cancel club, which meant I had lots and lots of lemon cupcakes. But I went to craft club on the Saturday because the weather was like a summer's day then on the Saturday. Apart from the fact we had snow halfway through the day as well. So I took the cupcakes there. So I just talk about how it's been another week of disruption because of the weather. A card that I made. Izzy had a sleepover and went on a long walk. And this is actually a rugby field which was completely flooded. She was looking at me as if to say, oh, shall I go swimming? But I managed to talk her out of it. And then I go to a scrapbooking club with some fab girls. They're a little bit bonkers, and they were doing a little bit of a conga. So I just thought I'd snap a photo of that. So that's week 9. So this is before, I think, all the carnage started. So this is now week 10, the 2nd of March. And this is me getting back into my slimming world, which I've sadly fallen off from at the moment. I've fallen off that wagon at the moment with everything going on, but I'd made my own hash browns. Then I've been with my husband 23 years, so I've talked about that there. Then my craft room actually featured on this website, Ella Bonella, her Facebook page, because every week she shows somebody's craft room, and my craft room featured there. Then I've started talking about COVID-19 and talking about how the shelves are empty. This was the toilet roll aisle in Home Bargains. So I talked about that there. As it was, I didn't need toilet roll. I was just amazed that the shelves were so empty. And then talking about how in school we've had to teach hand washing. So they were coming into school, washing their hands once again before fruit, washing their hands after play. We were washing our hands about 6 times a day. In fact, so much their poor little hands were sore. And then talking about how the RAF foundations have been taking place on our new house. Then week 11, I've used quite a lot of memes in this one. Memes, I never know how to say it. About, at this time, it was really, really unclear in schools what was going to be happening. Nothing was coming out. We were having about 3 to 4 emails a day, but still nothing was going to say anything about closures because nobody knew at this point. I was scrapbooking, so that's something of normality. This is the view from my house, from my new house, from the cycling track that I was running on. So yeah, I shared this one. I like this one about, oh, I'm off the screen there. Everyone, what's it like being a teacher during a worldwide pandemic? And it says, you know that scene from Titanic when the ship is sinking but the violinists keep playing? It was a really, really surreal situation. We had parents saying what's happening, what's going to be happening. And we had absolutely no idea. We didn't know anything ahead of parents at all. Highlight of my week, I finally gave in and bought myself a slow cooker. I know how to live. Then I saw this, which made me laugh. We're going on a bog roll hunt. Then the first pour of concrete that went in, and our retaining wall. And then I've written that the concerns about COVID-19 continue to rise and there's talk of schools closing. It's such a worry. I worry about Mum. We need to keep her safe. What a dreadfully scary situation. My mum has got Crohn's and she's diabetic. So she's on immunosuppressants to treat her Crohn's, which makes her very, very vulnerable. Week 12. So it was Mother's Day, and the weird thing was my mother had been to see, she had a hip operation in January. She'd been to see a consultant. She'd been given the green light to drive again, but she couldn't wait. And then they were told that anyone who was vulnerable had to stay indoors. So it was like somebody dangled her car keys and then took them from her. So she came down to me for Mother's Day and she drove her own car with somebody by the side of her and then has gone back on the drive. So there we are, I did. So instead, this card actually said happy times, which I've covered with washi tape and put scary times instead. The house next door to us is further along than ours. It's the same kind of structure. So we're up in on with, we'll have a balcony coming out, and this is the view from that. Then where do we, I love Winnie the Pooh. I've always loved Winnie the Pooh. So it says, where are we going, Pooh? Home, Piglet. We're going home because that's the best thing to do right now, because people were being asked to stay home. And then this one. Dear medical professionals, I'm so sorry that you're having to deal with everyone telling you how to do your job right now, or watch the media develop their own theories about a field they have no training or experience. We feel your pain. Sincerely, school teachers. Because that pretty much sums up being a school teacher. Then I changed my profile photo, stay home, it could save lives, and I found this little couch. And I've said each day, more deaths, government announcements, more measures being put in place, not allowed to go to work after Friday due to my asthma. I was hoping that I could carry on working in the hub schools, but because I'm asthmatic and on steroids for it, I'm not allowed anywhere near, which is a shame. So I'm filling my time with producing YouTube videos for my class. I'm reading a daily story. I'm doing math sessions, action songs and PE lessons even, just to keep myself sane and to give the children something to look forward to. So this is week 13. And it says, your life is only as full as your heart. And I've saved a few things off, or what do you call it, Facebook. Clap for our carers, NHS, because every Thursday now at 8 p.m. we all go out on our doorsteps. This week I took cowbells because I didn't think I was quite noisy enough. And I love this one, 50 ways to survive coronavirus, because I love Simon and Garfunkel. Stay in your flat, Pat. Don't visit your nan, Stan. Don't buy all the bread, Ted. Just listen to me. Don't hop on the bus, Gus. Don't hoard all the couscous. Leave some bog roll for me, Lee, and maybe some brie. So I thought that was a funny one. Then I was delighted to be asked to be a guest designer for Thoughtful Studio. She produces printable scrapbook papers. So I've just put that in. Then I also did a sample layout for a cyber crop. We were looking, it was a spring clean themed crop, and I wanted to bust some brads. 223 brads went into this one. This was the rainbow they created in school with the children of the essential key workers. There must have been about 8 children in that day, and they made a huge rainbow in the yard. Retaining wall is now up. And then I love this one. You're not stuck at home, you're safe at home. One word can change your attitude, and one cough can change your life. It's a really, really bizarre feeling at the moment. So I'm going to complete this page because I've got all my photos ready now for this one, because I'm determined to stay on track. But yeah, hasn't been the best of starts really, is it? We had all those awful fires in Australia, then we had all the awful floods. Lots of people lost their homes. Now we've got this, and I do think it makes you evaluate exactly what's important in life, isn't it? And I think it also makes people realise at the moment how important family are, because lots of people, we haven't seen my husband's mum. He hasn't been to physically see her, as in sit down and talk to her, for about 5 or 6 weeks now, because she was poorly beforehand. And she's got COPD, so she's worried to death about seeing people. As I help to care for my mum and do jobs for her, I am seeing her a few times a week. I take food parcels, but keep my distance then when I'm in there. So it's very scary time. So all I'd like to say is keep safe, everybody. Keep scrapping to help you keep sane. And I shall see you very soon. Take care and hwyl fawr. Bye.